Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Deep Waves Transformation. Today's guest is someone who truly embodies what it means to rebuild from rock bottom. Dallas, also known as the 16-hour coach and the emotional baggage handler, joins us from Duncan on Vancouver Island, Canada. He's an author, speaker, and transformational coach with a story that's as powerful as it is raw. After facing what he calls his year of life collapse, Dallas endured cancer, addiction, a suicide attempt, the loss of his marriage, family, business, and home, all within a short window of time. And yet, instead of giving up, he chose to rise. Now at 60 plus, he uses his hard-earned wisdom to help others break free from their story minds, those inner narratives that keep us stuck, and guides them toward emotional freedom, clarity, and purpose. Get ready for a real, honest, and deeply moving conversation. Dallas, welcome to the show. How are you?
Great, Tasha. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Dallas, can you take us back to the year of life collapse? What happened and what kept you going in the darkest moments?
Well, I wonder if we can start with an agreement between you and I,
Let's do it.
because that agreement is the destination. And
Let's
there's
do
no
it.
destination without beginning.
Right.
So the agreement is this. What do you want for your life? What do I want? What do all 8 billion of our brothers and sisters want from their life? I think we only want peace, beauty, happiness, a still mind, a calm life. That's all we desire. Ask any parent, what do you really want for your kid? And after doctor or lawyer or astronaut, they'll say, I just want them to be happy and healthy.
Right.
Could you agree that everyone, every single human alive, that's all we seek in the end? So we know our purpose.
Absolutely.
All these people running around, what's my purpose? What's the meaning? We already know. We are born whole and complete. And so, you, I am this beautiful baby. Love, beauty, and happiness. That's it.
Yes.
And then what happens? A story begins to build. We experience things. We're told things. We learn things. We stumble. We fall down. We get up. We're traumatized by our own fear and insecurity that we can't grasp and understand in this crazy world we're thrown into. And so this story begins to build. And we get to a certain age where we begin to identify as the story.
Right.
So I meet Tasha at a cocktail party. And I say, nice to meet you, Tasha. Tell me something about yourself. You begin telling me a story about a human named Tasha. You're not telling me about the human. You're telling me about a story the human believes is them. I am a mother. I am a father. I am a plumber. I am a lawyer. I am a doctor. Superficial level of what I think I am. Then I get to know you better and I learn about things you like and don't like and your hobbies and your interests. And then I get to know you even better. We become more intimate friends. You trust me more. You tell me deeper levels of your story. And in the end, we will all go to the same place. We'll all go to the difficulty, the struggle in the story, what we call emotional baggage. And like everyone alive, I had mine. I got abused physically and psychologically as a kid and bullied. And I came out of my childhood knowing, not just believing, but believing so deeply that I knew I was stupid. I wasn't good enough. I couldn't pass the test. I failed an entire grade 3. So how could I not be crappy, broken? I don't work. I'm not functioning right. There's something wrong with me. Every report card said what? Dallas shows great potential. Well, the message to the child isn't I show great potential. The message is there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough.
Right.
And we learn to externalize everything in our life. That somehow out there, I will become better. I'll become more. I'll become stronger. I'll achieve something. Well, that emotional baggage can be so heavy and cause such pain. I think we all arrive at our first addiction. Everyone has the same first addiction: blame. I blamed school for my trouble. I blamed the Boy Scouts. I blamed the church. Then I blamed some friends. Then I blamed my first boss. Then I blamed my partner. I even blamed my children some days. Hell, some people blame the weather for how
Yeah.
crappy their life is.
Yeah.
And so we live in this addiction because what does it do? It protects us from going to what we are, to being responsible for who we are. Something is to blame, something out there. And all my life I've been told, oh, look, he's crawling. Oh, look, he can walk now. Oh, he's speaking. Isn't he amazing? Everything's an achievement. I'm going to get there and grow and become. But if the baggage is too heavy, the pain is too internal, then I need a new addiction to get away from the pain. The blame isn't enough because the voice in the back of my head is going, yeah, they're at fault, but maybe, no, don't go there. Don't go there. So I tell you what, I find alcohol. What a fabulous medication. It's terrific, my friends, and we're having fun and laughing and having a good time and going to nightclubs and dancing, and life is terrific. No pain. I feel great.
Yeah.
And then that addiction begins to wear. And Friday and Saturday night isn't enough. And I needed Thursday night. And I needed Monday. And all of a sudden I filled in the week. And I'm an alcoholic without ever trying to be. I'm just trying to defend myself. I'm trying to defend myself from seeing and feeling my real pain, my real self. I just want to keep it away. And some people choose food. Some people choose exercise at the gym. Some people choose watching movies. Some people choose whatever will keep them away from really seeing themselves. Try and get someone to sit silently for 5 minutes. They'll go bananas. They can't do it.
Yeah.
Because they would have to come close to who they are.
Yeah.
And they don't want to get there. Keep it away. And that's why our whole world is full of distraction and glitz and glamour and sparkly things and scary things.
Right.
War, insecurity, poverty, disease, all these crises. They're distraction. They're a part of the story you believe is life. And so we get to a place, if you carry enough of this pain, that our nervous systems overload. They become so supercharged with the weight of this baggage that it has to be expressed. And most often it is expressed in the body.
Right.
The mind is expressed through the body. And so I go for nothing but food and I become obese and I get all sorts of diseases. This is the mind expressing itself through the body. I got cancer, the luckiest day of my life. My mind expressing itself said, wake up. All disease, all illness is not something wrong with you. It's you being asked to wake up. The spirit of your life is saying you cannot go on this way. Your physical being will die if you keep this brain pressurizing your system in this story that you believe is reality. And we have to understand we functionally are historic. Everything about us comes from yesterday. Everything we know is from yesterday. Our story is memory of yesterday. So here I am waking up with cancer one morning, go through treatment. My wife and I separate. I lose my home, my family in any way you can imagine. I lose my business. I wake up exactly 1 year to the day later, alone, broken, and suicidal, and still alcoholic. This is the greatest year of my life. This is the most fabulous thing I could wish for. I would never take it away because it opened a door. It burned my life to the ground so that I could not find my story. I could not see it because it was just ash. And then I got the luckiest moment of my entire life. I heard a statement, one statement, and it opened all the doors and all the light poured in. What was the statement? The statement was, show me yesterday. That was it. Tasha, I cannot go to a cupboard and pull yesterday out and go, look, what do you think? Here it is. Where is it? What is yesterday? Tasha, are you sitting at a desk?
I am.
Put your hands on the desk. Can you feel the desk?
I can.
Think about your feet on the floor. Can you feel your feet on the floor?
I can.
You're here, aren't you?
I'm here. I'm
You're,
grounded.
you're present right here, right now. This is real.
Real.
Okay. You know it's
Yes.
real because you can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you can hear it. It is real.
Yes.
Show me yesterday, right now. Show it to me. It was real. You were there. Where did it go?
It was still there.
Where is it? Show it to me then. Go get it.
I can't. It was yesterday.
It's not real, you see. As soon as it's gone, it can only be a memory. We can
Right.
only believe it was then. How could I believe a story that could almost kill me? How is it possible that something that has no reality beyond me believing could kill me? That's the story mind. Look into a brand new baby's face right after they're born. What do you see? You see beauty, love, happiness. They have no story. They have no name. They have no experience, no worry, no regret, no anxiety, no trauma, no pain, no addiction. That's what we all are through our whole life. But we lose it because we fall into the belief of the story, the experiences we gather, and we think that is life. That story almost killed me because I believed the story, not because it was real. If I was abused 50 years ago, how did it get here today? How did my trauma travel for 50 years? Is
Great
it in
question.
me? Can I be cut open and you can find the trauma? It doesn't exist, just like the story. There is no such thing as trauma. There is only a meaning in a belief that we carry in that baggage over our shoulder and walk with it. And it's heavy and it's painful and we think we can't put it down. 100 years of the best psychological and psychiatric minds at play. And where are we after 100 years? More people on psychoactive drugs, more people in talk therapy, more young people having mental disturbance, disorder, and dysfunction, and all these diagnoses. It's a complete failure.
Yeah.
What is healing? I'm here to tell you there is no healing. No one can heal. It's impossible to heal. That trauma happened. It was real 50 years ago. I don't discount its reality of taking place, but its reality now does not exist. So how could I heal something that doesn't exist? It happened back then. It cannot be changed. There is no healing. We do what we do with all the trash in our life, physically. We take it to the curb, put the bag down, and we walk away. And then the garbage isn't there. The trash isn't in our life. We only ever leave our pain. We don't heal anything. I didn't heal my dependency on alcohol. I took away the need for the dependency. The need was the baggage, the pain that I believed I was in and had needed medication to get away from the pain. But if there wasn't any pain, there's no need for the medication. All therapy is coping. Every skill developed through therapy is a coping mechanism that we learn. Skills and tools and thoughts and behaviors that allow us to what? Self-manage. What is self-managing? It is glue that keeps us in our story. It allows us to function in our life, the life we believe we are, which is just a story we believe. And the circle goes round. And so we cannot heal because we stay in the story. We cope in the story. 100 years of personal development industry. What are they doing? The foundation of your house is your story. Personal development is, let's give it a new paint job. Let's buy new windows. Let's get new appliances. How about a new roof? Look at you growing, getting better, being strong. But the house isn't really changing. We're just changing our perception of it so that we do what? We feel better. We feel better in our story. We're not leaving it. So the healing is just finding ways of feeling better. We're not changing it because we're not leaving it. I own a car, and the car is me. I love my car. I wash my car. I polish my car. I go for drives. I enjoy my car. I have adventures and see the world. And the car has problems, though. And it breaks down now and then. It gets upset and stops working. And I'm angry with my car, and I'm mad at myself for it. And I keep taking it to doctors and sitting in therapy with them and talking and trying to get my car to work better. And for a while it does, and I go off driving and I'm happy again. And then something comes along and the car keeps breaking down. I have a choice that comes to me. I can keep trying to repair that old car and keep trying to drive it and be strong. Or I can get out of the car and say, it no longer serves me. That car doesn't work anymore. And I start walking away. And I look around and I go, oh my God, I'm me. I'm here. I'm okay. I didn't need the car. I could have walked anytime. I could have just strolled out onto the edge of the ocean and looked at the world, walked through a forest and just taken it in. I could do any of this at any moment. But instead, I chose to stay in that car because I thought it was me. I thought it meant something. I thought it was my meaning. I was attached to that car. I'm attached to this story. This identified belief that that's me, my image, how I dress, how I look, how I talk and behave, what I think others think of me. The story holds me. And we look around the world around us. And it is the collective story mind of all of us together. 8 billion chefs all cooking the exact same recipe. But the meal comes out a little different tasting, a little different looking, a little different smelling. And that our ego jumps on and says, see, they're different. Be afraid. You're wrong. I'm right. I'm good. You're bad. And collectively, if I can convince you strong enough, you'll pick up a gun and go to war and kill your brothers and sisters. For a story.
Right.
No reality. No real you. No beautiful baby being. My mother died 4 months ago. 2 hours before she died, I looked down into her face, and what did I see? I saw the baby's face. I saw beauty. I saw love. I only felt happiness. It was a life. That's all. The baby's face and my mother's face is the beginning and the ending of all our lives. In between is this story, this drama, this storm we get caught in. And we get fooled, deceived into believing that is what life is. When at any time we can just be in that forest, at that ocean, in awe, looking at the stars in the sky and just going, wow, the wonder of life. It's so beautiful. It is so simple. It is just happiness. It is nothing else. Everything else is a delusional illusion of the story. And all the pain and the suffering and the worry and the anxiety is all a belief. I had a friend I drank with every night for 15 years at the same bar, every night for 15 years.
Uh-huh.
He was diagnosed with a ton of disorders. He'd been on a million medications. Well, I went through my collapse. He went to his. His was to the streets and to worse drugs and fentanyl. And,
Oh
we've all seen
no.
the pictures on the streets, right?
Oh no.
He was one of them. And I lost track and I just assumed he's dead. Maybe he assumed I'm dead. Well, one day I'm in a coffee shop just maybe a year ago, and there he is, sitting in the corner reading a book, sipping a coffee, and looking as normal can be.
No
And
kidding.
I'm just stunned. I'm stunned. I walk
Wow.
over and I'm like, excuse the mistake. What's your story?
Yeah.
and,
Wow.
and he says, well, he doesn't have much memory of the street. That's a foggy nightmare. But someone attracted him talking about the church and God and Jesus. And he began to listen, and it began to click and resonate with him. And he began to get up and go to a meeting, and he began to get involved. And pretty soon they found him a place to live. His disorders went away. His addictions went away. He would tell me, Jesus saved me. This is a common story. We've heard it a million times. But
Yes.
what are we really witnessing there? We are witnessing someone who had a terrible story mind. And what happened? They went to the bottom to collapse until the story was so weakened, so fraudulent in their mind, in their real mind, their brain, that a new story appeared. The story saved them. The idea of Jesus, the idea of God, the idea of love, friendship, caring, supporting, encouraging, being there for one another. That story saved him.
Wow.
We are always involved in some sort of story. The whole world around us is the same story. Look at every Hollywood movie. Break it down to its elements, and you will find the
Right.
same story.
Yeah.
Every other human being on the planet has your story, and you have their story. Tasha Day is the most important person on planet Earth. No one is more important than Tasha Day. Well, come on, Dallas. That sounds a little selfish to have Tasha even think she's the most important person in the world. We got to be realistic here. Tasha, if you weren't here, would there be a world?
Yes, there would.
There wouldn't. You can
Not my
only
world.
imagine it. You don't know there would be a world if you weren't here. It
Okay, I
wouldn't
see what you're saying.
exist. I couldn't hug you. You wouldn't feel me hugging you. You couldn't kiss your children or your husband or a friend and feel it. You wouldn't be here. So how could you not be the most important person on the planet?
There it
because
is.
this whole world is your world.
Thank you for that clarification. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
And 8 billion of us are the most important person on the planet because each one of us is our world and we share the experience. You can't love me and I can't love you. We can share our love. There's a huge difference because if I think you love me and I think I love you, I have given meaning to your love of me. So if you take it away, what happens? I'm hurt. I'm heartbroken. That's a fiction. That is my belief. You can't hurt me. You can't make me happy, sad, break my heart unless I give you my meaning for you to hold. You can't disappoint me unless I appoint you in a position that can hurt me.
Right.
Everything we do, we externalize and then wonder why it doesn't work. We have forgotten that we are working. You already won. There's nothing to achieve or become or grow or change. You already are. There is nowhere to go. You're here. You will never be anywhere else. You've never been in yesterday or tomorrow. You've always been right here, right now. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll be right here again. You won't be anywhere different. I can tell everyone's future. You're doing it right now. Your future doesn't happen tomorrow. This is the illusion of goals and aspiration and dreams. The bad part of them is placing your meaning in the attainment of the goal. That's meaningless. The work you do right now is achieving the goal. That's the meaning. You, now, not someday, not if you get something, achieve some stature, buy some object. Those things are this attachment outside to a phony story that isn't reality. When I was 12 years old, I used to stay at a cabin on a lake on Vancouver Island, my grandparents owned. It's a beautiful August evening. And I walk down to the wharf, out on the dock, lay my sleeping bag down. I lie down and look up at the sky. And I met with this just awe and wonder of a billion stars. And I am just in awe. I am not in yesterday or tomorrow or thinking about anything. I'm just in that unbelievable awareness of life. We've all experienced that moment. It may be fleeting. And then right away your brain goes, oh, gee, what about that? Oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? Oh, I need to do this.
Yeah.
But for that moment, you were right there. That's the real you.
Yep.
And now at 60 years old, I could walk out on that same dock, onto that same wharf, put my sleeping bag down again and look up at that same sky. I will feel the exact same thing. It is not 60 years later. It's the same moment. We are right now, always.
You're absolutely right.
All we have to do is be here. I call myself a 16-hour coach for this reason. There is only 16 hours that you will ever live in your life. If you sleep 8 hours, and we've decided 24 hours is a day, you have 16 hours to be awake, conscious, and alive. In attention to whatever you decide on, you have 16 hours. In that 16 hours, you wake up and get dressed. You clean yourself. You feed yourself. You look after children, maybe, or a husband. You call in on friends. You go to your job to earn money, to keep that roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your belly. You do everything your life is in 16 hours. And you do it every day. It doesn't change. Only our idea of tomorrow makes it seem like we're doing it for something outside of ourselves. This keeps us detached from this beauty and love and happiness that is always there. I walk out on stage tonight to speak to 500 people at a community center. I said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dallas Collis. I was terribly traumatized as a child. I went through horrible pain and anger and regret, anxiety, depression, bouts of it that almost killed me. I became an addict, an alcoholic, a drug abusing, terrible human being. I treated other people badly. I treated myself terribly. I caused a lot of pain and suffering with others. I went through cancer, lost my wife, my home, my family. I almost committed suicide. But I'm strong. I'm getting back on my feet. I'm rebuilding my life. I've got this courage, and I want everyone to see it's possible." Oh, the audience is clapping. Oh my goodness, I'm being patted on the back and told how courageous I am. How wonderful this human being is. Aren't we all pleased to hear this story?
Uh-huh.
Tasha, I walk out on stage tonight to speak to 500 people about these issues. I say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dallas Collis. I have no traumas, no fears, no worries, no regrets, no anger, no anxieties. I have no problems in my life. I am beauty, love, and happiness. That's
Nobody
all I
wants to
do.
hear that.
Every day, I am just happy. I have not a single problem in the world. Nothing is difficult. Life is easy. Life is simple." Everybody in the audience goes, "What a weirdo. This guy's sick."
Exactly.
There's the
Yeah.
world we live in.
I
This
don't,
is the
it's
proof,
weird. Why is that?
because the story is that.
Yeah. The story.
The story is not that you're healthy, whole, beautiful, loving, and happy. The story is life is hard. It's complicated to struggle. You have to be strong. You have to fight. You need discipline, courage, and bravery. That's a dramatic story that your deceiver ego can grab onto and say, "Oh, yeah, that's meat I can eat."
Yeah.
Love and beautiful happiness. What is that? What am I
Weird.
gonna
Yeah.
what am I
Yeah.
gonna do with that? You mean you're just gonna be happy?
I
What?
remember one time I was on the train with my daughter and we were going to a gymnastics meet and this guy looks over at me and I was just smiling. I'm with my daughter. We're about to have a great evening. And he goes, "What are you so happy about?" Because I'm smiling. He asked me, "What are you smiling about?" Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I'm not allowed to smile. It was the most weird question I've ever heard in my life.
That's not weird.
Yeah, it's not.
50 other people that saw you that day were thinking it.
Yeah.
They just didn't say it.
Yeah, because
What about you
all
though?
I've ever heard is keep smiling. I love your smile. Keep smiling. And then I hear that and I was like, "Whoa, where did that come from? He must be having a really shitty day." Like,
But
and
you know,
projecting it onto me. I was like, "I don't know what I did to you, but I'm still going to smile. I'm with my daughter. Sorry."
you see, I think the keep smiling is the superficial social media psychology that we have.
Yeah.
We A part of us wants to see how great we are, and so we put it on social media, and people post all these pictures of how great it are.
Yeah.
But they all know they're really not.
Yeah. It's a false reality of self.
So it's like, no, my story's good, my story's whole, my story is happy and everything. But it's, I don't want you to really see my story.
Right.
And so we use social media, which is just really another addiction, to
Yeah.
stay away from the story and the real pain, to the point that you can go on a million sites of mental health awareness sites, and people are not supporting each other for health. They're supporting each other like a badge of honor. Look at me. I'm diagnosed with this illness. I'm special.
Right.
Even this is supporting them as glue to keep in the story, even though it's painful. I can even make my pain somehow a ribbon to wear.
Right.
I'm in my group. I have my tribe. I'm okay. Hold me. I want to feel good. But I'm not going to do it for me because that's too scary. That means looking at that trauma from 50 years ago and being responsible, not for it happening, but for carrying it all these years. And coming to the point where you realize, I did this to me. The event happened, but the event ended. It doesn't continue unless I continue it. That responsibility is really hard to speak about because people are so defensive. Oh, you're blaming the victim.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. You're not a victim.
No.
There are no victims. This is this illusion that something happened to you. Nothing happens. There is no meaning in life. A car crashes. 10 people see the story differently. Why? If the car crash was a meaning, a reality, why would there be 10 different views of the car crash? Because there is no meaning until you choose the meaning. You replay the vision. You create the memory.
Yeah,
You
I call it
carry the
placing a
feeling.
label upon yourself, just like doctors like to do.
You created it.
Yeah.
I know people who are having a tough time, struggling, and then someone labels them with a disorder. Well, all of a sudden, oh, now I know I am broken. Here's what's wrong with me.
I knew it.
Exactly.
So then that's where you get stuck into that story. Okay, yep, I knew it and I'm going to stick with it because they told me I got it.
And what you were doing right there was searching for proof that your story is true.
Right.
I knew I was broken. I learned it from my childhood. Now I just proved it because an expert diagnosed me as that. Now I know my story's true. I'm even stronger in my story.
Exactly. Just reassurance and confirmation. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need a story. Who needs a story?
Yeah. Who
Why
needs
do
a
you need an
story?
identity? Why do you need an identity?
Question.
What
Actually,
would you be without your identity? You would just be this beautiful, loving, happy human being.
right.
There's no reason. Everything else is labels and baggage and comparison and judgment. All the problems of your entire life are just in the belief in that story. You don't have a problem. You have a situation you might have to deal with.
Sure.
Go deal with it. It's
Yeah.
not a problem until the story says, this could upset me. Oh, that hurt me. Oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? What might go wrong? That's all story. What for? What do you get from your story? Nothing. There is nothing you get from your story other than this fictitious belief in the external status, becoming, achieving. Look at me. I'm on the top step of the podium. I won. Tell me I won. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm happy and whole because I can't see it.
I know.
Because I can't see through the cloud of this story. The drama is so thick and heavy. I can't see that, oh, yeah, it's just sunny back there. Right behind me. Everything's fine. It's a beautiful blue sky. But I look out here, I see all these clouds and this storm, this massive story. I'm stuck in a Netflix series. I know exactly what's going to happen next week, but I still want to tune in.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Ultimately, it just boils down to it's just stupid. To be honest with you, it's just stupid.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's a story.
Yeah.
What do we do with our children from the earliest year? I'll read you a story at bedtime or anytime.
Right. Look
Why
at
are
that.
why are we reading them stories? Because we're taking them into a fantasy world.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
we become stories over time until we believe this thing is us.
Yeah.
It's not us. We are just lovers. We're just beautiful, loving creatures.
In a human vessel. That's it.
That's it. That's all we are. And this is the problem right here. You're getting to the whole point of all of this today. It's so easy, it can't be true.
Right.
It's so simple, it can't possibly be true.
Exactly.
I am complex. I am deep. I am full of understanding and learning and changing and struggling and achieving. I am so much complexity. And you're going to tell me I'm just beauty, love, and happiness? I'm much more important than that, I'll tell you.
Why are we searching and digging for the the hurtful things? Like a diagnosis of PTSD. Why are we searching for stuff like that? Why are we not searching more for love and joy and happiness and gratitude? It's just weird the way the mind works or the
Because,
story begins.
yeah, I think it's because of how the story begins. It begins in fear and insecurity.
Yeah.
Maybe birth itself is our trauma.
Uh, I'll tell you
Um,
an example. I'll tell you an example of I had my daughter come to me a few months ago and she says, "Do you remember when I was little, Mom, and I would used to fall and scrape my knee?" I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Do you remember how you used to get me through that? You weren't the mom that would be like, 'Oh my God, are you okay? Oh my God.' Da, 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 da." You would be that mom that would be like, 'It's okay. I got you. Let's put the band-aid over it and let's get right back up.'" She remembers that to this day and is thankful to me for that. And I was like,
of
"Oh
course.
my God, I didn't know it meant that much to you." But it's as simple as unhelicoptering our kids. If they make a mistake, it's okay. Guide them, support them, give them confidence and clarity. Don't be like, "Oh my God, you made a mistake." How do you know it's a mistake? It wasn't. It was just a lesson that they needed to learn. And that just meant a lot to me. So I wanted to share that with you. So yeah,
It's absolutely exemplary of a huge problem today,
yeah,
of
parents.
this safety and security in life, that everything can be safe and secure. And if anything goes wrong, we have to respect your pain and your concern. And we can't say anything about it. It might upset you. Words are violence. These things are so destructive. Physical life is difficult. In its basic evolutionary sense of life, you will fall down. You will get a bloody nose. You
Right.
do need to learn to just get back up and carry on. The bloody nose is not a brick wall. It's just a stumbling block. And when we tell these kids today that you're somehow wounded by everything, it's deep. It's traumas now are tiny little moments, and they can be seen as traumatic. And we've got doctors saying that the littlest thing can be this horrible pain. Well, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we focusing on this? We're not just focusing on pain, but the damage we believe is resulting.
Right.
There is no damage. The damage can only be carried by your belief. Because the
Right.
fact is, your daughter fell down, skinned her knee, got bloody, and you didn't over pamper her for it. And she got back up and realized you carry
It
on. It's
was
not the end of
okay.
the world. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to be all right. And I'm stronger for it.
Yeah.
So
I
we have
also
to
used
be,
to be a high school teacher um, in 2017, and I taught juniors and seniors. And we, I started to recognize just the students within that school and how the statistics of that school showed kids either getting all A's or all F's. And it was quite interesting, the stats along that. And then I would get like parent teacher conferences coming in, and you'd get those moms are like, "Why did you give my daughter an F? Why did you do this? She doesn't deserve that." What do you mean she doesn't deserve that? So I believe it really truly does start with parenting.
of course.
Yeah. It's just wild to see parents in all aspects working in that high school. It was
Yeah.
fascinating to me.
They're all
Some would
examples
look at
that,
their kids and be like, "No, you need to work harder. You did, we'll correct this. you may have made this mistake, but we're going to fix it this way. But a lot of parents don't know how to guide and teach their kids. It's like, you should have done better, or why did you give my student an F? It made no sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going to
don't.
give them a participation trophy just for showing up.
Yeah. I don't know we can guide or teach anyone. We can be examples that they can pick up and make part of their story.
Right.
And when they get examples of people around them making excuses, why did you give my daughter an F? Is an excuse, right? Being played
Right.
out. It's a blame. If they only see that example, they do that.
Right.
So it's not, I really think I say now I'm a life coach in recovery.
Yep.
Because,
I love
we
that. So am I.
we
In
we can't
recovery.
we can't fix anyone.
Right.
We can't really teach anyone. We can be an example. We can show them what we've done or what we're doing. We can say, this is my path. I say now, I'm not an influencer, I'm a resonator. If you connect with what I'm saying, we're resonating. And in that way, we find each other and we support each other. And in that encouraging environment, we are teaching each other, but not trying to teach each other, just being there. So we need to resonate these simple understandings of life instead of resonating this massive complexity, the confrontation, the blaming. Why did you give her an F?
Yeah.
This is all the complexity and the struggle. And if that's the example, why wouldn't we be staying in that story? It's all we know.
Exactly.
How do you
Yeah.
leave something when you don't know? This is why it so often takes terrible suffering for this sudden clarity to come to people. This is why when you go through enough stress and strain, and that body wants to express the emotional pain, change will happen. You will get sick, or you will suddenly get some clarity and realize the unimportance of this story you've been believing and the damage it's been doing to you. And that
Exactly.
all the while it's been yours to hold and yours to let go of, no one else. And that's why, people often say at the end of a podcast, I'll often get the same question. If you could go back to your 20-year-old self, what would you say?
Uh-huh.
And I just think it wouldn't matter what I said. My 20-year-old self was so in the story, could never have listened to anything. So who cares?
Right. Yeah, I love that.
You see, I didn't listen to me until me was burned to the ground.
Right.
There was no story for me to listen to. And so I was able to find something different. I didn't rebuild my life. I didn't heal my past. I left it all. I walked away from all the baggage and turned around and went, I don't even need the story. I don't even need the baggage. And I'm okay. I woke up this morning and I was still here and everything was fine. There's riots in this city. There's a
I
war
know.
going on over here. And I woke up and I'm right here.
Exactly.
What am I doing? Do I want to dance in all this trauma and upset and worry and the drama of life? Or do I just want to go, it's going to be there no matter what? I pick up a newspaper from 100 years ago. Guess what? The stories are about some crisis over here, some
Yeah.
drama happening over here. It's the same as today. We think it's like, oh my God, the craziest times ever are now.
Yes.
Well, every generation said the same thing.
At all, yeah.
And
Yeah.
every generation said, oh, I remember the good old days.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
The good old days are right now. You're
Exactly.
in them.
Exactly.
Every day is your good old days. This is your life. The key is paying attention to life. We spend 70% of our days in what? Habit, routine, walking around without really paying attention.
Yeah.
Just grabbing something to eat because we always grab that to eat. You drive home at the end of the day, Tasha. It's a Thursday evening. You're dead tired. You walk into the house, you slap your keys down on the counter, and the sound of the keys hitting the counter wakes you up, and you go, I don't even remember driving home. I
Right.
don't remember anything about that drive.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Because we live in this subconscious world most of the time. And that subconscious world is the deception of the story mind, is regrets, is yesterday, is worrying about tomorrow. That's daydreaming. In attention, you cannot be there. Sitting here with me looking at me looking at you, listening to our voices, paying attention, you cannot be thinking about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow because your mind cannot get in the way of your brain in attention. We don't work that way. And we were all taught the secret to life on the first day of grade 1. Every one of us, the same thing happened to us. What was it? You got into that classroom, there's a buzzing in the air, you're nervous, you're scared, you're excited, you're happy, you're sad, you're oh my God. And this woman or man walks to the front of the class, your teacher. And what do they do?
Hi, my name is.
Attention, class.
Yeah.
Attention. First, they called you to attention.
Sure. Yeah.
Then they asked for your presence. David, here, present. Sally, present. You went to the roll call. You were given the secret to life. If you are paying attention and you are present, you cannot be in a story. You are in real life. In grade 1, we were given the secret. That teacher didn't know it was a secret. And no one in the class knew it was a secret. But it was the command for us all to be here, to be present, because it's the only place you will ever live. Stay out of the daydream, the story mind. Just be here. Take that beauty and happiness to work, and work is never a problem. Take it to your children. Your children are never a problem. Life is not a problem. There's nothing wrong if you're paying attention, if you're present. It's only when you daydream that there's trouble.
Yeah. And I learned that from Master Shi Hung Yi. He teaches us how to do the Tao and to remain in there. And he says, there is no time. There's just now.
Exactly. You've never been in any other time.
You may have a 3 o'clock appointment, a 5 o'clock appointment, but there's just now. So.
And at
Yeah.
3 o'clock, it'll be now.
Exactly. 3:01
And
will
tomorrow
still be
morning,
now.
when you wake up, it'll be now.
Right.
Only work now.
Yeah.
You can't work in the future for some goal. You do the work now.
Right.
The goal
Exactly.
takes care of itself. The result you have no control of. You only have control of the input, what you do now, in attention, presently. What you are doing is what you are.
Exactly.
You're not going to be something different. You are what you are.
Yeah.
Being something different is painful
It really
because
is.
it's not reality.
Yeah.
It's an
Sitting in that
illusion.
uncomfortableness.
Of course, because you're telling yourself you're not something.
Yeah.
Your spirit is being told there's something wrong, so you need to achieve something, become something, be better, be stronger. So it's telling your soul, your being, that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You're inflicting pain on yourself by believing in some hopeful future.
That's true.
This is a silly, silly illusion.
It's so silly. So, like, what would you?
The beauty is right now. It's happening now. It's not going to happen in some goal-reaching, beautiful, imagined future. It's happening now.
Yeah.
You're missing it if you think it's going to be tomorrow. And when you get there, it's just the simplicity leaves me giggling night and day.
I know. Me too. Not.
And
It's
other
so
people
funny,
think you're a little
honestly,
bit
it
weird.
really is. It's sad but funny at the same time to watch people so stressed out here all the time. Like, there's no need for that, and let me teach you the tools how to do, you know what I mean? It's just it's wild.
Yes,
So wild.
yes.
And then when you try to teach people to be in the now, they think it's woo-woo, crazy, spiritual, witchcraft, this, that, it's like,
I
okay,
thought so.
yeah,
I thought so for forever
yeah.
until I heard somebody say, "Show me yesterday."
Wow.
And it just blew the story apart
That's what it was for you then, huh?
because there was no tangible reality to yesterday, but I knew my story was all about what's happened to me yesterday. So if
Yeah.
it's not tangible and real, am I crazy for believing it? Believing it so strongly I almost died?
Right.
What's the reality here?
See?
What a
Wow.
dysfunction. The story mind is insane. We wouldn't go to war and kill each other if we weren't insane. If
There you
we were
go.
sane and rational, you would never hurt another human being. So obviously, we're not sane. But what's the insanity? It's a story you believe.
Exactly.
It's so simply complex.
Yeah, I love that. Simply complex. Dallas,
Get
share
out of
some
your
last words
story.
with my audience, shall you please?
Don't believe in yourself.
Oh, don't believe in yourself. What does that
Well,
mean?
well, what does it mean to be a self? What self do you think you are? You think you're the self of the story you believe. So how is believing in yourself harder with more discipline going to make it better? You're believing in a self that it's an illusion. So don't believe in yourself, believe in your being. You're a living life force of beauty, love, and happiness. Believe in that. You're not a self. You're not a label. You're not a man, a woman, a child, an adult, a farmer, a lawyer, an astronaut. You're this being. So be. Don't
Yes.
be don't be something, some self. Don't believe in yourself.
I love that. I've never heard of that ever because you're always taught believe in yourself. I got you. Just believe in yourself. Well, what
Everybody
the
says
hell
it.
does that mean? Now I
Everybody
know.
says it. But believe in a fantasy, believe in a movie, believe in a story that you believe. That's all they're saying.
Okay. Well, Dallas, it's really been a pleasure. I know I'm going to speak for myself. I know that as soon as I publish this, you're going to be saving a lot of lives. So I'm very grateful and I'm very honored to have you on the show today, blessing me along with everybody else with your story. I know how hard it is. I lost my father from alcoholism at the age of 60. My mom was 11 months before that with lung cancer. So I, from the bottom of my heart, Dallas, I am so proud of you.
Thanks, Tasha.
And I hold that safe space for you. I honor you. I recognize you. And I'm so grateful that you're here to share your story across the world.
We all have the strength.
We
We
do.
all have everything we need. No
We
one
do.
is special. We've all got it.
We do. All right, you guys, until next time, take care. Have a blessed day. For more information on where to find me, please visit deepwavescoaching.com and on my Facebook and Instagram page at Deep Waves Life Coaching. For more information on where to find Dallas, please visit his Facebook page at dallas.collis.33, Instagram page at DallasFit5Life, and on his TikTok at dallascollis.com.